The relationship between the director and the protagonist is very important.
Yes.
You know, it's the presence of the person. Doesn't matter how much experience you've had. You may have only directed once or never directed, but if you feel you're with your protagonist, that protagonist will feel you with them, and that makes that's the most significant thing you can do.
Yeah. Just being with them,
and that they know you're there with them.
Yes.
You don't have to touch them.
No.
You know, but even Zerka in her later years, she directed into her 90s. She was sitting, and she couldn't get up and walk around in the same way she used to. And her voice, she would project her voice out from where she was sitting. And magically, you link onto that voice. You connect with that voice. She's there. Please breathe. Please, everyone, sit down. The protagonist is hearing that whole thing and feeling looked after. Sometimes they don't even know the director's there. That's good directing.
Yes.
I don't mean, when I say good directing, I don't mean good or bad. I don't like using those terms at all. But it's like the director has been present and the protagonist has just kept going. There's been such a flow that they haven't even realised that there was somebody there with them. And then the auxiliary here is not only an auxiliary to the protagonist, taking up different roles, but the auxiliary is also an auxiliary for the director. So the director gets cues from the auxiliary because they have been in the interaction. The director hasn't been in the interaction.
The director is only seeing or experiencing the interaction.
Yes, and they may have experienced it,
yes,
but not from the same way. They haven't been in each of the roles.
No.
So soon, if I get up from here and go and sit there and you come and sit here, we've got a whole different play happening.
Yes.
It's not the same.
No.
It's not simply changing because you're looking over there.
Yeah.
I can't see over there.
Yeah.
I'm looking over here, or I'm looking at my audience here, or I'm meant to be looking at the camera lens. You see?
Yeah. And
but even looking at the camera lens, I'm looking at it this way, you're looking at it from that way.
Yeah.
So how are our audience watching this video looking at us?
Yes.
It's an interesting question, isn't it?
Yeah, all the Maanas team members were there at the audience,
Yeah.
but they are not a part of this.
No.
Even right now, Radhika sitting behind the camera was directing us.
Yes.
Is directing,
Yes.
but she's still not this. So what is playing out between us, as let us say the protagonist and the auxiliary, or whatever. From there, because we are both conversing and relating in a particular way, it helps her to get this in her directing.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. Makes a lot of sense.
To just finish with the protagonist.
Yes.
It's always the protagonist's drama. The protagonist's always right.
Yeah.
So
and I've seen you so many times that in the middle of your thinking, if your protagonist says, no, I don't like that idea, you just absolutely drop it and go with what they're wanting to do. So it's not about the director, it's always about the protagonist, and if it's comfortable for them, we go ahead, and if not, we just
That's right. And at various times, you know it's a no. And at other times, you know that no is not so much a no, but a fear or something. And then I might try a little bit later to coach or provoke someone. But they're rare, more or less rare things. You don't want to be doing those things, provoking people. I've seen a lot of directors that provoke the entire time, all through the whole thing.
Like they would be doing the anti all the time?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, go here, go there, do this, do that. I mean, I'd walk off the stage if I was a protagonist and someone did that because I'd have no space. And remember, coming right back now to our early bit, the whole idea of the stage is to have freedom. To have freedom to move, to have freedom to be yourself.
Yeah.
And so
your own independent authority to or look at what you would want to look at and in the way you would want to look at it.
Yeah.
So the director is kind of in the service of the protagonist.
Yeah.
So
That's a good way of saying it. The director is in service, as is the auxiliaries,
yes.
as are the audience.
So, so do you a lot of times find that protagonists are because in the last year of the trainees group and all that, there have been people at different levels of readiness, and people don't like to be pushed to become protagonists, or even if they slowly get warmed up and they come up there for the first time, there is a lot of palpitation or feeling vulnerable and all of that, which I guess is very normal, which is very human, because they're going to make themselves visible. Something very intimate from their world is going to get put out there, and they're scared whether people will judge that and all that. So is there anything that you would want to comment on that?
Well, the whole thing is to go at the protagonist's pace.
Yes.
But your roles as director, social investigator, when did you feel that?
Yeah.
Those kinds of roles, as you set the scene on the stage is an important thing to set.
Yes.
Because this provides the warm up. You want your protagonist to warm up.
Yes.
If they warm down, you've got to do things to warm them back up again. So when they set out a kitchen scene, immediately they start and do the kitchen scene. They're there in the here and now, and that's the other thing that's essential to psychodrama, being in the here and now. So everything is not, oh, when you did that, okay, when you walked in that door. No, it's now you're walking in the door.
What do you see?
What
is happening?
Now they can see the green lino. They can see the orange tablecloth. You can't. So that's where your interview role comes in as a director.
Yes.
What colour is the tablecloth? Go and feel the wood on that settee. And as the protagonist touches that, even the most, newest protagonist, they'll go, oh yeah, that's teak. Oh, that was I love that. And see the progressive role that's emerging in the protagonist.
Yeah.
See their warm up to their house, to their moment in time. So those specific things the director takes care of.
Yeah.
The director doesn't have to know anything. That's the magic of it as well.
And for the first time, even if they've just gone into a scene, gone there, touched that teak, and then they want to stop because that's enough for that day.
Yes, they might just go, I don't want to do this drama. I'll go, thank you very much. I'm very grateful to have
Exactly, because even that much is a big movement
I'm
for them.
grateful to have directed you, that you came up and wanted to be directed today, and we've seen your teak, and I'm remembering my teak, so I'll do a little sharing. I'm remembering, teak and whether I could ever afford teak. And there was a company called Fleur Furniture, and I thought I'd never afford a Fleur furniture, and eventually I got 2 Fleur chairs. So these are things you can share with somebody, which is a lovely kind of way of us sharing that we're all more similar than different, which we are. And that's the whole thing about psychodrama too, which people often say, I thought it was just me that was like this. I thought I was weird. They'll say things like that.
Yeah.
And then they go, everyone's got that. And how amazing. And they relax. And that's a big thing for a human person.
Yes.
They've relaxed in themselves that they're okay. And that makes a hell of a lot of difference as they go about their work or to school or, Because if we feel we're weird, we're going to be walking around trying to hide.
Yes. And therefore it again connects me back. So there's nothing like a weird protagonist, nothing like a good protagonist or a bad protagonist, or the ready protagonist, not ready protagonist. It's just about on that day, at that moment, at that particular time, this is how much they want to work and do, and that's good enough.